Okay, so next we're going to place the architectural columns around the left-hand side of the building. So if we go to the build panel, drop down arrow of the column, we'll go to architectural. If we go to the type selector, you'll see we only have 3 different types to choose from. So what we need to do is we need to load in the other columns from the library. So this library, when we download the software, is automatically installed on your PC, and all of these components aren't automatically in every single drawing because the file size would be too big. So there's an external library of all the different components that we will load in from. To access that, we'll click on the Load Family. We're in the green contextual tab of our architectural column. We'll select on Load Family. So this will open up our UK library, and there we have our columns folder. And in there you can see our different types of columns that we can select. The one we're choosing today is the metal clad. Press open to bring it from the library into the project, and then just click to place. Once we have one placed, we'll place it more accurately, again using the temporary dimensions. If you refer to the PDF 005 external columns, this is where you'll find the positions of each of the columns. So from the face we have it at 1000, and from the lower face again it's 1000. So again, all I'm doing is clicking on the blue grip, dragging it down to where I want it to be, reselect, change it to 1000. So center to center, it's 1000 to each face. And you'll notice on the PDF that we have 4 columns in total along the top half here. So I'll just now click on the column, use the copy tool. I'm going to click above it just as my start point, and having multiple selected, every time I click, I'll place a new column. Now that I have the 4 placed, what I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust the position of the last column, and as you'll see in the PDF, it's a meter away from each face. So this temporary dimension here is latching on here, so what I'll do is click the blue grip, click and drag until I get the blue line on the external face and let go, and there is 1000, and it should automatically be 1000 from here as well. So I don't know what the position is between each of the columns, but with Revit I'm able to equally space them anyway. So in Revit there's a feature that I'm able to use which is called the quality constraint, and I can use that feature to equally space the columns. So how I'll do that is I'll use my aligned dimension tool. So if I go up to the quick axis panel at the top, select align dimensions. And because I want my dimension run to go along the horizontal axis, when I hover over the column, I've got to pick up that vertical blue line. If I go for the horizontal blue line, I'm going to go down to make a vertical dimension run. So because I want to do a horizontal dimension run, I look for the vertical blue line on the center point. So click once to get my center point, click again for the next one. Remaining in the dimension tool, I click again for the next center point, click again for the next column. Once I've done all 4, I'll move my cursor up to position. Then to place the dimension run, just move away, making sure I'm not highlighting anything. Like if I click now, because that's blue, I'll make a new dimension, so I don't want to do that. So I'll just move my cursor away and click again when nothing is selected. And that's my dimension run placed. So it's giving me dimensions between each of the columns. And now to equally space them, there's an EQ with the red dash. If I click that, it will equally space the columns. Now we don't want this on our plans all the time, so what we can do is we can select it, clicking the delete key. By doing this, we'll get a warning, a dialog box. It's just saying we've deleted the dimension run, but do we still want it to remain constrained? i.e. do we want it to remain equally spaced or not? So we can keep it constrained by pressing OK, or we can click on unconstrain, which means that the columns are free to move now and they won't be equally spaced. So I want to keep them constrained, so I'll press OK. Next, we'll do the vertical run. So on the vertical run, we have a total of 8 columns. So I'll select one and use my copy tool. And again, just copy down 8 times. So I got 1, 2, and 8. So next it's about positioning the last column correctly. So yes, it's a meter from this face here, but it is 1900 from this face. So using the blue grip, just click and drag and place it on the external face there. I can change that to 1900. And now that I have the position of the last one, I can use the same align dimension tool. Because I'm doing a vertical distance, I now have to get a horizontal blue line. So there's my vertical, there's my horizontal. Again, just clicking once to place, using my wheel on the mouse to pan. And once I've got the last one, just moving the dimensions in the correct position, moving the cursor away from any other object so it won't select, and left click with the mouse. So now when I select the dimension one, there's that EQ, click to place, and it will equally space the columns. Again, once I delete the dimension one, I get the warning dialog box again. I'll press OK. And next, I just need to copy down those 3 from above. So if I select one, hold down the Control key to select the other 2, and I can now copy and paste.